can be hard sometimes as an entrepreneur. You launch your product and it's underwhelming. You do everything you can and you still fail. A few months ago, we launched Taplio, our app on Product Hunt, and we tried our best. I basically stayed up for 48 hours straight trying to push as much traffic to this thing as possible. We got hundreds of votes, I think 800, 900 votes, whatever, 700 votes. And we still ended the day at number 2 on Product Hunt. Major crush, major failure, all right? And we got beat, of course, by a charity thing. It was supporting Ukraine is the thing that beat us. But nobody knows that. All they see is that we weren't number 1 on Product Hunt, in my mind. I think in reality, this is what I want to talk about in today's video, is what happens when you feel like giving up. And I wanted to talk you through that scenario because I don't want to say that was the last time I felt like giving up. That was the last time I felt like I got punched right in the nuts. And it was kind of an act, right? Because I'm proud that we got 700, 800 votes on Product Hunt. We actually fulfilled the goal of what we were trying to do, which is get downloads on the software so that we could have enough things going out there so that we could gather enough LinkedIn posts to build our database on Taplio. We succeeded in the goal. But still, we weren't number 1 on Product Hunt. And it hurts. It hurts down there. So what do you do when you feel like giving up? Number 1 is I try to remember that this only matters to me. If I didn't say this to you right now, you wouldn't know. You probably have forgotten about the Product Hunt launch. You wouldn't know about Taplio's stats. You probably haven't thought about that or even heard about that before. You probably had no judgment on me whatsoever about that. And so that's the main thing to remember is in reality, nothing that we're doing actually matters. I could succeed beyond my wildest dreams, set my family up, set my people up for great lives. And yet, in the end of it, it does not really matter. It only matters in the game that we play ourselves. So when you feel like giving up, just remember that you can reframe that however you want. The only reason I see the Product Hunt number 1 thing as a failure is because I decided to troll myself about it. Originally, my thought was I was happy about getting, number 2 on Product Hunt. But I felt like, if I got number 1, then I'd be a success. And if I got number 2, then I'd be a failure. So that's the other thing. You got to watch your thoughts. So when you feel like giving up, keep going and remember why you started. Why did you start in this whole business thing? For me, it wasn't to hit number 1 on Product Hunt. We started Taplio with the thought that we're going to create this game-changing business, revolutionize the way people do content on LinkedIn, and replace social media marketing agencies as a category. At the end of the day, when we're done with Taplio, social media marketing agencies will not exist. That would be us winning with Taplio. There's no point in using them if this software is getting the exact same results or better results, writing your content, getting you engagement on your posts, doing everything for you, and doing it for a fraction of the price. You're not paying your social media manager $2,000 a month. You're just paying this AI, $100 a month, couple $100 a month, whatever our pricing is, and they get it done. So that's when I'm remembering that, I'm saying that, and I'm feeling you feel that as well. I'm saying that, and now I'm reinvigorated. Who gives a crap about a failed Product Hunt launch when our goal is to revolutionize an entire industry? And also, number 2 isn't a failed Product Hunt launch. So when you feel like giving up, just remember why you're actually in it. I don't know, me saying that I felt like giving up here is completely false, but maybe I'll tell you when most people would have given up and why I didn't give up. So when our last startup, or a couple startups ago now, failed, I was the CMO at a lead generation startup. We were generating over $1 million a month. And basically, I talked about this in Cold Email Manifesto, the whole thing collapsed overnight within about 30 days. And I ended up in a bunch of debt, 40K in debt, living at my parents' house, living in my mom's basement. I even had to do her laundry. It was despicable. It was not something I wanted to do. And most people might have given up. In fact, Tom Tancredi, my old boss at Dom & Tom, months later after I got out of this and we had X27 and everything was going good, he said he was worried. He thought that might have been the end for me after that kind of disaster, losing $10 million in net worth in about 30 days. But I didn't think about giving up for a second. The day after that company started crumbling, I was already sending emails and spinning up things for our new project. It was similar to what happened. We had an online course that we had with a partner a while ago, and he said he would do all the work for us. He started building it out, and then after a month or two, he sent me an email that he quit the project. He was done. And within 6 hours, I had already spun up a new landing page, recorded a whole new webinar, and then later that day had the bones of the course already mapped out that would become Email 10K. So you can't let other people dictate whether you give up or not. That's the other main thing. If you're in it, if you're in there and you're going to win, then you're going to win. And it doesn't matter if this kid's going to come along with you or not. If me and Robert make millions together, that's great. If for some reason Robert tries to destroy me, that's great too. I'm going to still win. There's no scenario where I give up. The only time you give up is when you die. And even then, I guess that is a defeat, unless there's an afterlife, in which case maybe there's a whole other thing that you do. That's the entire thing. You just keep that mindset that you're going to win, and you just do whatever is necessary to make it happen. When our chatbot company didn't get the traction that it needed, did we give up on SaaS? No. After the chatbot company failed, I hired a developer and we made browse domains and we made StoryThreader. And then we used those as experience to get some real SaaS deals. We built LeadShark. I put $70K with Robert into LeadShark, into building that out. Then we partnered with the Taplio guys to get that going. You don't lose if you don't accept loss. That's it. So when you feel like giving up, just keep going. Because you remember, there's no end. There's no end. The average lifespan in the United States for a man is about 83 years old. So look at me. I'm 30 years old now. I know I'm old, or I'm young, whatever. I don't know. I feel like, whatever you think. So that means if I live to the average age, I've got another 53 years of this life. My dad died at 61, so I might have a little fewer years. But if I look at life like I got 53 years left, what would it look like to give up at 30? Or what would it have looked like to give up when I lost the 10 million at 25 or whatever age that was? What am I going to do with the rest of the time? That's the other thing to think about. When it feels like you give up, what is giving up really? You going to go get a job somewhere? I'm not. You're going to go be homeless on the street? I guess the only way that I would give up is just killing myself, honestly, would be the only end, which could never happen. So that's the life that we all choose to live here as entrepreneurs. So when you feel like giving up, keep going. Remember why you're in it and never lose. You only lose when you accept defeat. All right. Let me know down below, what's the lowest that you have ever felt? And how did you get through it? Like this video for more content like this, subscribe down below, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.